Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at tonight's webinar, Maths and Me webinar. My name is Rochelle, and I'm part of the EDCO team. And this evening, we will be joined by my colleague Katie, and she'll be going through the Maths and Me program, as well as the digital resources available for junior infants to sixth class. Just a few housekeeping before we actually begin. This webinar is being recorded, so you'll receive a copy of the URL a few days from now. And also you are going to be receiving a certificate of attendance from me. So I'll have a copy of all of those who attend this webinar, and I'll send that to you. And also you will also get your EDCO free EDCO primer planner. So I'll send that to you as well over the next few days. And we'll have, we're aiming to have this for an hour, which includes the Q&A as well. So over to you, Katie.
Thanks, Rochelle. Hey, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for the introduction, Rochelle. So I'll get down to it. Maths and Me, it's a child-friendly, inclusive program that gives children rich and playful learning experiences. In essence, it's the Buna Kainta of maths. It's an all-in-one program that integrates the use of digital with books and helps children to have a positive, enjoyable experience of maths. It's available from juniors to sixth class for the coming September. And this is what we'll cover tonight. I'll go through the Maths and Me character intro. We'll go through the content, so what the pupil gets, what the teacher gets. We'll go through planning and digital, and there'll be questions at the end, but you can feel free to write in the chat box as we go as well. Okay, so Maths and Me is a character-based program. So we have Mia, Jay, Monty, Lexi, and Dara. So the characters, they bring life to maths, they make it fun and engaging. Monty comes as a puppet for junior and senior infants. When you buy the books, Monty comes as well. So yeah, they're a fun side to the program, and yeah, I'll model later on through the digital how the characters come into the program. Okay, so the pupil pack, this is what the child receives. They'll get their pupil book, manipulative cards, that includes a mini whiteboard as well. Some of these vary on depending on the level that you're teaching. So like a fraction wall comes as part of the manipulatives for fourth class, for example. Then there's a homeschool link book that comes for juniors to second class. And we have maths journal prompts in place of that for senior end. So third to sixth, I'll show you what the maths journal prompts look like when we get to the digital platform as well. Every child gets an assessment booklet, and then there's a pupil parent app as well, which is used by teachers for stations within the classroom or for home as well. So yeah, I'll show you what all of those look like. Just taking a closer look at the pupil book, these are the headings that you'll find. So we have let's play, let's talk, let's investigate, maths eyes, and then the green boxes that you'll see on the pupil book pages, the try this box, they're the cognitively challenging tasks. So I just screenshot a page from first class pupil book here. So it's Unit 3 fractions. So that's just a glimpse of what a first class page might look like. And here you have the try this, your cognitively challenging task here, the green. And then I just took 2 more pages. So to the left here, we have a fourth class page. Again, both of these are on time. And to the right, we have a fifth class Unit 13 time as well. To the right on the fifth class pupil book page there, you have adding and subtracting time. You'll see the use of number lines to demonstrate how to tackle word problems. And these are the type that come up in the standardized tests as well. And you'll see there's a reduction in supports within A 1 to 4, and then again from A to B as well. I'm going to show you later on a lesson on time for 4th class, and this is the relevant pupil book page here to the left as well. I suppose with Maths and Me, we would put, I suppose, stress or emphasize that because it's an integrated program, the digital and concrete materials come first, and then you consolidate the learning with a pupil book page at the end of the lesson. So children really would be like familiar and ready to take on the content of the pupil book page, having followed the other parts of the lesson. Okay, so homeschool link books and the resources for homeschools. So here we have the homeschool link for juniors to 2nd class. This works out at about a page a week. Inside the front cover of the homeschool link book, there is a QR code. And when you scan that QR code, it's a direct link to the Pupil Parent app. So as I mentioned, you can use that at home or for stations within the classroom. It's called an app, but it's a web page. There's no logins required. It's really simple to use. You can filter by class level and the unit that you're teaching at the minute, and the children can just play relevant games relevant to that unit. In the middle here, we have our maths journal prompts. So these are found in the teacher resource book. I'm going to show you what more of those look like when I get to the ins and outs of the teacher resource book. But there's one maths journal prompt for every lesson. So there's one for every night. Okay, moving on from homeschool links. The progress assessment booklet. So here's a snapshot of, I think that is, sorry now, it's either second class, assessment booklet. So it's up to the teacher whether you'd like to assess unit by unit, or you can do it during review weeks. So there are review weeks penciled in after every 2 months, which allows time to go back over missed lessons, concepts they found tricky. So yeah, it's up to the teacher when you'd like to assess. These are designed to challenge. The authors have looked at standardized tests when making these booklets, so the results should be quite aligned with those results later in the year. And we also have a spreadsheet, an Excel sheet that you can record the results of the progress assessment booklet. There's a sorting tool then within that spreadsheet. You can order the children from high to low or low to high based on their results. And you can do the very same by learning objective as well. So it might flag that if they fell down on fractions, you could revise that chapter during the review week. So that's kind of the pupil pack. It finishes with the assessment booklet there. I'm going to move on to teacher's pack now. So the teacher will get 2 binders. You'll get a planning book and you'll get a resource book. So I'm going to actually open my Edco Learning account here and pop into, okay. Right, here we go. So this is the Edco Learning page. So I'm just going to show you a lesson plan from 4th class now. So this is a lesson on time. So if you click on the cover of the books, it opens up the ebook. So this is Unit 6, time. Okay, so every unit starts off with the fortnightly plan. This is available as an editable Word document as well. I'll show you that when we get to the digital and where to find those. Here we have a background and rationale, and then common misconceptions and difficulties that you're likely to come across by teaching the unit. That'll be at the beginning of every unit. I'm going to skip to day 2, lesson 2, a lesson on seconds, minutes, and hours here. So just before I do that, I wanted to flag this sheet, which is called Maths and Me Routines. And I'll just reload this page. There we go. So this comes as a durable card with your teacher pack. So it's a glance card for routines. Routines just mean child-centered activities. So these activities make up the backbone of the program. So every lesson has a warm-up, a main event, and then followed by pupil book page. So the warm-up and main event will be made up of the activities on this sheet. So teachers will know these inside out with time, and so will the children. The orange band across the bottom shows you which of the 5 key pedagogies you hit by doing that activity. So I'm just going to show you the warm-up is a concept cartoon, which is here. Here we go. Okay, so here the warm-up. How many hours and minutes is the name of the resource. It's a concept cartoon with Think, Pair, Share. So if you press this purple icon, that's a direct link to this resource. How many hours and minutes? Okay, so they pose a question at the top. How many hours and minutes in 108 minutes? A concept cartoon is about addressing misconceptions. So here the characters give their view on the answer to the question, but you'll see that not all of them have a grasp on converting minutes to minutes and hours. So I'll just click their heads and see what their thoughts are.
That's easy. It's 1 hour and 8 minutes.
I think it's 10 hours and 8 minutes because you just split the digits.
I think it's 1 hour and 48 minutes, as I split it into 60 minutes for the hour and then counted how many minutes were left.
I also think it's 1 hour and 48 minutes. I use division. How many groups of 6 tens in 10 tens? And how many left over?
What do you think?
Okay, so that's the warm-up activity here. That's an example of a concept cartoon. So plenty of opportunity for maths talk right there. If you press the I button within any of the resources, it just quickly flags what the teacher should do. Here it would be relevant to click on the toolbox and you have quick access to your e-tools from here. So to prove the answer, that 108 minutes in hours and minutes, you can pull up the clock tool. So here you could drag the hands and count 1 hour, an hour and 10, all the way to an hour and 48 minutes there. So yeah, there's lots you can do with the clock tool. You can put the numbers on and off. There's an increment bank here that you can set to 5 minutes, 15, 30 minutes. You can make it into a digital clock. You can add 2 clocks at once. There's a lot you can do with the tools here and make it 12-hour, 24-hour, etc. If you click the I button, some tools have a user guide. So the clock user guide opens up a PDF explaining how to efficiently use that tool. So there we have it. That's the warm-up of this lesson. And now we're going to move on to the main event. So the main event of this lesson is a video. It's a digital activity as well. The routines we're using are reason and respond and write, hide, show. This is an explainer video. Just before I click into the video there, I just want to flag the headings, let's strengthen and let's deepen. So that's differentiation. Let's strengthen is just to support the weaker learners, and then let's deepen is like higher order, kind of to push on those that need to be challenged. So you'll see those headings spotted everywhere throughout the teacher resource book. So clicking on the video, seconds, minutes, and hours. With these explainer videos, the children will have their mini whiteboards out. The teacher is doing a lot of pausing. The narrator asks a lot of questions, so they're very engaging. There's plenty of opportunity for practicing the questions here. I'll just play a little bit of the video.
Seconds, minutes, hours. Every day, we use units of time. What is the smallest unit of time? That's right. It's a second. What things take or last a second? We might take a second to turn a light on or wave to a friend. What is the next smallest unit of time? That's right. It's a minute. What are in 1 hour? There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Then we also have 15 minutes left over. How much is 60 plus 15? 60 plus 15 equals 75. So 1 hour and 15 minutes is the extra minutes are left over. What is 60 minutes the same as? So 90 minutes.
Okay, so that's the explainer video there. And then you follow with the pupil book page, which was 52, which I showed in the PowerPoint there earlier. So that's a fourth class lesson. So what I was clicking on there was the cover of the books to open up the ebook. I'm also going to show you some resources in the teacher resource book as well. So 1 second, I'm just going to teacher resource book. Here we go. So available in this binder, we have Let's Strengthen PCMs and Let's Deepen PCMs. So there you have a PCM means a photocopyable master. So these are differentiated photocopyables that go along with the unit. So additional worksheets. Let's strengthen suggestions for teachers. I'm going to click into these. These are really useful. I know set teachers love these. These are a bank of ideas. They're a bank of practical, hands-on ideas to support the children that just need that additional support in the area of maths. So these won't be another worksheet. They will always be concrete materials, but the ideas are there, and you can see there's a page there for every unit. They can be used within the classroom or for set teachers. Maths journal prompts. I'll show you some of these for fourth class. This is the book that I've clicked onto. So there they are. As I said earlier, there's one of these for every lesson, and that's a reflection and a maths journal prompt relevant to what the child would have been learning that day. There's the maths journal prompts. And finally, at the back of your teacher resource book, we have a games bank. So there's a good few games there for every unit. You might need the child's manipulatives, the spinners, or a dice for these, but there's a good few games there for every unit. So that's what you'll find in the teacher resource book. Back here, I just want to flag before moving on to the Maths and Me digital platform that we have bridging materials. So this yellow book and red book, these are additional resources to help with a number strand. So one of the biggest, I suppose, changes from old curriculum to new curriculum is around the number strand for infants. So the red book covers numbers 6 to 10. You could use it at the end of junior infants or early senior infants. And the yellow book towards the end of senior infants or going into first class as well, covers 11 to 20. So the orange button on the bridging materials books opens this page, which is just additional resources. You can see there we have activity sheets, PowerPoints, and videos there, just again, all support around the number strand. So they're the bridging materials. If you click on the orange button on any of the other books, it brings you to this Maths and Me platform. So the lesson on the fourth class lesson on time that I showed you was unit 6, and it was lesson 2. And here you can filter to bring up the relevant activities. So there was the warm-up I showed, the main event. These are your relevant planning documents, the orange and green tiles, and there's the relevant photocopyables and maths journal prompts that go with this unit as well. So that's another way that you can filter to bring up the correct resources. I'm just going to show you what's under the planning tab. This is where you'll find all your editable planning documents. So there's three main documents for every unit. The first tile there is just your lesson plans. They're the exact same as your lesson planning book. The second one is your short term, which is your fortnightly plan. So I'll just open up one of these to show you. So here we go. Here is a fortnightly plan on place value for 4th class. So this has all the requirements that you need to have in your planning. You can see the focus of learning, the Kuntas Misul box, everything is there and done for you. So that's a sample of a fortnightly plan for you to copy and paste the relevant parts that will be relevant to your class. The third card is your glance card. So these are condensed versions of the lesson plans. So our lesson plans, the one that I showed you there for 4th class, if you open your binder book, there's a lot of detail in the plans. All the support is there. There's like teacher tips, differentiation, questions. Whereas if you like don't necessarily need all of that support, or you're kind of like on the hop, need a quick referral for a lesson plan, we have these glance cards, which are just like condensed versions. You can see there, day 1, lesson 1, bullet points, and what you cover. So there's a fortnight of planning reduced to 2 pages there. So they're the glance cards. Teachers find those very useful. And down at the bottom of the planning tab, this is where you'll find your long-term plans and just additional documents, progression continua. There's an equipment overview and a math language overview. I won't click into these, just so you're aware that those are there. You just scroll to the bottom. Sometimes if you scroll to the bottom, you might find documents that you'd be in search of. Okay, so assessment, just to quickly flag what's under the assessment tab. We have formative assessment observation sheets. There's one of these for every unit. I'll just open one of these perhaps. I know SET teachers, again, really like these. Here it is. It's divided by lesson, focus of learning, and you record your data there to the right. Down at the bottom of the assessment button, this is where you find the Excel sheet and the spreadsheet to record the results from the children's progress assessment booklets. So we have an Excel there, and there's a spreadsheet for Google Drive schools as well. So to cater for that as well. Okay, under printables, here we have maths language cards. This is where you'll find the photocopyable masters and maths journal prompts again. Here you can, these are all the videos in 4th class I'm clicking into here. And then activities, so you'll see there looking at the yellow or green bubble, whether it's a warm up or main event activity. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here and show you this corner for a moment. This QR code button. So when you click that, a big QR code comes up. And when the children scan that with their tablets, it brings them to the Pupil Parent app. So this is what I mentioned earlier. Teachers use it in the classroom for stations or for homework. So you can see there, you can filter to your class level and whatever unit you're teaching, and they're just games that the children can play independently there. The children also have access to the explainer videos that you play as part of the lesson. So you can see here, if it has the pink icon, it's an explainer video. So classifying angles, how to measure angles. So all those explainer videos are there for the children to go back over as well. The children also have access to the toolkit, which I showed you earlier. I opened clocks. While I'm here, I'll just click into money as well. These are very useful. And as I said, when you're in the resource, you can quickly pull it up by using the toolbox at the side. So in the money tool, just to show you a couple of things that it can do. If you click on the coin, the first icon duplicates the coin. Then you can decompose the coin. And if you click all of the coins, you can compose them to make the biggest amount of the coins that you've selected. Back to 20 there. So here you have a coins bank. You have a notes bank. There are also pre-money counters for infants. And we have a piggy bank. You can kind of hide and show the money. You can bring the money to the front, put it behind. Just deleting this now. We also have money arrays. So you can see the value of the euro versus the value of 50 cent, for example. These are very useful for helping to explain the value of coins of different sizes. Again, if you click the I button within the resource, there's a money user guide there, which opens a PDF explaining how to efficiently use that tool. Okay, so back to the Maths and Me platform. Sorry now. Oh yeah. Here we go. I just wanted to show a few more digital resources from different class levels. So I've picked out a couple. I'm going to show you one for junior infants, just so we get a little taste of every level. So junior infants, unit 10 and lesson 5. Okay, here's where you find your number formation videos. So I'm just going to play one for the number 5 to show you. This is a main event, writing the number 5.
It starts off with a straight line down. Then the line curves right around. At the top, it wears a hat. Number 5 is as simple as that.
Okay, so there you have all your number formation videos, which are really lovely for the infants. I chose a video on heavy and light as well. So this is also for junior infants. It's unit 2 measuring. So this is an infant version of an explainer video. So it's an animation with rhyme.
Heavy and light like a car and a feather. There's one I can lift, one I can never. Heavy and light, an elephant and a mouse. Light and heavy, an apple and a house. Heavy and light, a truck and a trike. Light and heavy, for examples there are many. Hey, a pile of books. Light, a piece of paper. Heavy, a bag of shopping. Light, a cigarette pepper. Heavy and light.
Okay, so that's just a nice little video on heavy and light. So yeah, that's kind of junior infant resources. I mentioned earlier the Maths and Me routines. So I'd like to show this first class resource. This is called a 3-act task. It's called Ball Pit. So it's a lesson on, well, it's numbers to 100. It's counting. So I'll just play this resource. So this is a first class 3-act task. So as the name suggests, there's 3 stages to a 3-act task. the act one is the hook. It's where you get the children engaged, they're noticing and they're wondering. Okay, then you can ask the questions.
What do you notice?
What do you notice?
What do you wonder?
And then the third question is always the leading question for the rest of the lesson.
How many balls are on the floor? How many balls are left in the ball pit?
So that's act one. Then you move on to act two, which is called the productive struggle. So you can ask the questions.
Write an estimate that is too high on your mini whiteboard. Write an estimate that is too low. Write a reasonable estimate. Do you have enough information? What else do you need to know?
So in a 3-act task, you drip feed information to the children throughout. So this icon has just popped up. So you press that to reveal a little more. And then you can ask more questions.
What information do you have now? To get an answer, what needs to be done? What strategies can you use?
So at this part of the lesson, there's also a photocopyable master that you can give out to the children, which it has a picture of exactly this, the balls on the floor. So then it's up to the child how they would like to solve it, whether they'd like to tally or circle or mark them as they go, whatever strategy they would like. And then act 3 is the big reveal. So children reveal their answers and talk about what they did.
What answer did you get? How did you get that answer? What was difficult? What was easy?
Okay, and then I can click this icon to, this is the big reveal. And then you can ask the final few questions. So they're just about what strategies were the most efficient, etc. So that's an example of a 3-act task. These are available throughout the program in junior end and senior end as well. So yeah, I just wanted to show you one of those. Very quickly, I'm going to show you the amusement park as well. This is for 3rd class location and transformation. It's a poster resource. So you're noticing and wondering again, these questions pop up all the time with Maths and Me.
What do you notice? What do you wonder? Why does the picture have lines on it? Where else might you see this? How could you use this grid to describe the location of the roller coaster? In which column is the carousel?
So yeah, you get the gist of this poster resource as well. But yeah, the Maths and Me resources are really visual, and they're really helpful for EAL children as well. Yeah, we get a lot of feedback that our explainer videos are really helpful for children with English as additional language. So yeah, they're just so visual, and their language improves quite a bit by using the program as well. So finally, I wanted to show you a couple of senior end resources. So I've just clicked into 5th class here. I'm going to show you this resource, which uses the routines. Well, this is called Would This Work? So you're using Build It, Sketch It, and Write It for this. So this is called Boys in the School, Calculating Percentages of Amounts. Okay, so in a school of 350 children, 40% are boys. How many boys are there? So with a Would This Work activity, the children in your class answer this question first. So they're working away and kind of exploring the different strategies. And then the characters give their view on how they sorted the problem or answered the question.
Dara changed the percentage to a fraction. 40% equals 4/10. He drew a matching bar model. Each 1/10 is worth 35. Mia simplified the fraction. 4/10 equals 2/5. She used cubes to build a matching bar model. Each cube represents 1/5, and each fifth is worth 70. Lexi changed the percentage to a decimal. 40% equals 0.4. Since of means multiply, to get 0.4 of 350, she multiplied 350 by 0.4. Jay used his calculator to multiply 350 by 0.4.
Okay, so that's a Would This Work activity for 5th class. It's just showing the various ways that you can solve the one problem, which is what the new curriculum is about, as well with using lots of different ways to solve questions. So I would also like to show you quick images for 5th class as well. So what does this value represent? This is a warm-up activity. So with quick images, you flash an image and the children estimate the amount that they see. So you can hold an image for 2 seconds, or you can flash it for 1 second, or you can hold it for as long as you like. The lesson plan for this resource actually says, it's a teacher tip. It says, because of the level of detail in these 1,000th grids, that you should hold it for longer. So children are using their mini whiteboards and they're writing down the amount that they see. So they can write it in lots of different ways. They could write that's 250 over 1,000. They could write it as 1/4. They could write it as 0.25, and you'd encourage them to write it as many ways as they can. But I think that the nice thing about this resource is the use of the 1,000th grid here helps children to actually understand how big that number really is and that they can see it there. So yeah, that's a quick images activity. And yeah, that's just a couple of 5th class, and in 6th class I might just show one here. I'll do a same but different, for example. Same but different, numbers to 1,000,000. Okay, so this is a warm-up activity. The children are maths talking about what they see the same and what's different about the two figures shown. Again, with these, you don't have to do every single one of them. There's quite a bit in each of the resources. You just pick and choose what works well for you. So that's a warm-up activity there. And this is followed by a lovely video, explainer video, how big is 1,000,000 as well. So I'll just play a tiny bit of this video.
How big is 1,000,000? How many grains of rice can you see? 1 grain of rice. How many grains of rice in 10 times this amount? 10 grains of rice. How many millimeters? How far is that? What distance value is shown? This is 1 millimeter. What is 10 times this distance? 10 times 1 millimeter is 10 millimeters. What is another name for 10 millimeters? 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. What is 10 times this distance? 10 times 10 millimeters is 100 millimeters. What is another name for 100 millimeters? 100 meters. 10,000 millimeters.
So that video just goes on to explain in different formats how big a million really is, and it goes on to maps there and different locations. So that's another explainer video. So that's, I'm just going to escape here from the digital resources and okay, Rochelle, I've gone through, I think, the main, like everything from the Matsumi platform. So if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer those at this point, or happy to go back over anything that mightn't have been clear. I am happy to go over, show anything again.
Yeah, I have a few questions here, so we'll go through them anyway. So there's one from Susan. She's asking, is there planning for multi-grade classes, 4th to 6th class?
So 4th to 6th, we actually don't have merged planning as of yet. It's just individual right now, but possibly down the line that might be something we would be looking at. But the answer right now is no. But the planning will all be there for you for whatever level, and then you can merge it to kind of suit the needs of your class. But the way it's done, that juniors and seniors, the units line up and they can be taught together, 1st and 2nd the same way, 3rd, 4th, and 5th and 6th. So those class levels are taught in a way that it suits multi-grade teaching.
Okay. I have a question here from Eva asking, can the children access these resources at home or just in school with their login?
So they have access to the toolkit, they have access to some games that I showed you, and they have access to the explainer videos. But for example, the concept cartoon that I showed at the beginning, where it was how many minutes in 108 minutes, that they're just teacher resources. So that would be for the warm-up and main event. Children don't have access to those. It's just more so videos and games and the toolkit.
Okay. And then I have a question here from Fiona. She's asking, is there a trial available for the online resources? Yes. And then is it possible to purchase the license for some classes and not the whole school?
So yes, the answer to both of those questions is yes. So yeah, you can absolutely, the Matsumi platform is actually open for any school to trial until summer. So all you need to do is log into your Edco Learning account, select Maths and Me, and it's open for you to trial until the end of June. And then secondly, yes, you can, if you're interested in Maths and Me, you can buy it for your class, and we have digital only subscriptions as well if that is of interest. So it doesn't have to be rolled out throughout a whole school at every level. If you're interested, you can get it for your class.
Okay. I have a question here. Okay, so it's a very similar to the multigrade thing. So a comment from Orla, she's saying, I'd love to know how this program could work for multigrade. An excellent program, but can't see it working in a 3-class setting. Something that's really missing from book providers, too interactive for multigrade. You want to answer that, Katie? Because I do have a comment about that as well, but yes.
Yeah, for like any multi-grade with 3 levels is going to be a challenge. that it's just that mix of the third class, I suppose, makes it trickier. We've done our best with aligning it in kind of like the pairs of classes, but there are schools that have mixed it. Like I was chatting with a teacher who teaches second and third, and using the Maths and Me program, and just with the resources. And I suppose you can keep the children busy with all the resources that are there. So if you're working with one class group, you have the pupil parent app, there's the maths journal prompts, there's additional PCMs, to keep the other groups busy. So there's a lot there to kind of just keep them busy as you're teaching another group. But yeah, that's
Yeah, I actually just want to quickly share my screen there just so I could show just how they align and you can talk about it. This is junior infants yearly overview and senior infants. Can you see my screen there, Katie?
yes.
Yeah, so it's just easier for you to explain that part, that they do like the units, they align.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rochelle. Yeah, so exactly. So this is helpful because I suppose generally speaking, you cover a unit over a fortnight. So you can see there you cover 4 units before your review week, which falls before Halloween. But the first one you have open, is that juniors?
So this one here is senior infants, and this one is
Yeah,
junior infants.
juniors
Yeah.
and seniors. So the units align there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just helpful for multi-grade. So yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Rochelle.
Yeah, and then I have another question here from do journal prompts come in booklet?
They don't know. They're so I showed you obviously the ebook, the online, but they don't come in the pupil pack booklet, but they do come as a hard copy in the teacher resource book. So you can print them under printables, or you can photocopy from your teacher resource book.
Okay. Okay, question. Is there a license fee? So I can answer this, or you can, Katie, but I can answer it. So, for the program, for the actual platform, if you adopt Maths and Me in your class, it comes free with uh, with your program, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. What is the cost? So Susan, if you contact your local EDCO rep, they'd be able to give you an idea of the cost for your school. Okay. Do you have any other questions? I think those are all the questions currently anyway. But to just kind of like, if you have any more questions, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A box. But just kind of like reiterate that what Katie said, there is a free trial for the platform if you want, because it's very obviously Katie only gave you a brief glance and overview of the numerous digital resources that we have in Maths and Me, and there's over 2,500. It's very comprehensive. It's so many things that you can see in the platform. So I highly suggest that if you're still making a decision on the maths program in your school, or you're looking into changing, please do try it on Edco Learning. If, for example, you don't find it on Edco Learning, or you're not registered, just email us at support@edcolearning.ie, and we'll be more than happy to give you access to it. There's free trial. You're able to test it out yourselves, and it's easier if you're testing it out because it's you're adapting it to the way you teach and stuff. Okay, hold on. I don't know if you could see that question there, Katie.
Where
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Yeah, there. So what is the situation for special schools classes where our class configuration would mean we could be covering levels from junior infants to 6. Can we access all levels of digital resources without additional licensing costs? Okay.
For that, for special schools, like firstly, Maths and Me, and because it's so visual and engaging, these resources are so beautiful in special schools and work really well. But if you again, if you reach out to your rep, they will be able to do something for you for sure.
Yeah.
So I would chat to your rep and see. It depends how many classes you have and the amount of students, but definitely your rep will be able to help you. So I would say send a direct message to them,
Yeah.
so they can look at your school and help you
Yeah.
out.
So actually, just if you are looking for it's you can find your local EDCO rep details on edco.ie. So if you just go onto the contact page, you'll be able to find their direct details. So send them an email or give them a buzz. And if, for example, you don't find a local rep for your area, just get in touch with the support team. Then we'll be able to contact you directly. Katie might be able to help and then get in touch with you directly as well.
Definitely.
Okay. I think that's all the questions. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If there are no more questions, and again, I'll send you a copy of, for those of you who attended, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. I mean, I know it's quite sunny, so really appreciate that you spent the sun with us here in your house. And I'll send you a copy of this webinar recording. And for those of you who attended as well, I'll send you a copy of your certificate of attendance, and the primary planner as well will be sent over to you. So other than that, I'd like to thank Katie as well for hosting. And if you have any more questions, everyone, feel free to get in touch with us directly, and we'll help you whatever way we can. All right, good evening. Thanks.
Thank you.